Hello again. We are streaming from ICT Week. Today we have another guest. It's Felix Lammers from Plug and Play. And today we wanted to talk about the corporate innovations. Hello, Felix. How are you?
Hi, Nargis. Great to meet you.
I really hope you're enjoying the ICT forum today.
I really love it. It's our second time here in Uzbekistan, second time also in Samarkande. We got a chance to visit the beautiful city last time. But
a little bit rainy, but
a little bit rainy this time, but a lot more content. We met a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces today.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely great to come together here and exchange. And I really love the format and the setup. It's really impressive.
Excellent. We'd love to have you here, and we'd love to hear about a little bit more about the corporate innovations that you guys are probably very interested in launching here in Uzbekistan.
Of course.
So tell us a little bit more about your company background and what you're planning to achieve here today.
Absolutely. So maybe a bit of background about Plug and Play for anyone who hasn't heard the name yet or is not 100% sure what we're doing. We're doing a lot. But in the corporate innovation activities, we're sort of launching global innovation platforms. Mm-hmm. So we're currently running over 60 accelerators across our 47 locations.
That's impressive.
And we're covering 19 different industries. So Fintech, for example, this is why we're also coming together tomorrow in the panel. Fintech is one of the industries that we're covering, but we're also covering 18 other industries with our global locations. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're sort of the matchmaker between the corporations on the one side and innovative tech companies, for instance, in the form of startups. Mm-hmm. So we want to create a platform where these two sides can meet, and we want to facilitate a collaboration. So for the companies that we're working with, and we're working with over 650 companies worldwide, the largest and most successful market leaders in their industry, it's very hard sometimes for them to directly collaborate with startups because the processes don't match, the teams don't match, the culture doesn't match, and we're trying to overcome that bridge by providing a platform where it's easy for them to meet, easy to exchange, and most importantly, easy to implement the technology and to test it out, first of all.
That sounds good, but when it comes to the startups itself, because everybody is at a very different levels, right? So what type of level of startups are we talking here?
Yes, so it ranges from all levels of startups. For our investment activities, which is completely separate to the corporate innovation activities, for the investment activities, we're focusing on early stage startups.
Okay.
So pre-seed, seed, up to maximum Series A. Yeah. And we're talking about fairly small ticket sizes. But we're doing a lot of investments. We're at Plug and Play. We're actually still one of the most active investors in the world. So we're doing around 250 investments every year.
Very good.
We like to do co-investments, so we never lead an investment round. We like to get on board with other strong, with our global VC partners, VC investment partners, and that's how we, manage to do a lot of investments. So we have about 2,000 portfolio companies in our portfolio that we're actively invested in. But this is, like, as I said, Series pre-seed, seed, up to Series A. On the corporate innovation side, we're a lot more flexible, and it depends entirely on the interest of the partner and their tech interests.
Right.
So we're working from teams of 2 people with a great idea who don't even have a product yet to, companies that we wouldn't even consider as startups anymore, that are probably more like SMEs or moving towards an SME level.
Is it like kind of a sustainability model where you actually create that pool of startups, engaging them with a real client, and then if that kind of shoots and if it's successful, you are willing to invest in those startups and the projects? Yeah,
so on the one side, of course, it can lead to a potential investment. On the other side, it can lead also to a project that is then implemented into the services. And that, again, is entirely up to the client that we're working with. So these are different streams that our services can cover, basically. But exactly as you said, it's a platform or an opportunity to test the collaboration on a very neutral level before then going into an actual implementation or an investment.
That's a very good way to test and the certain longevity and successful projects. But in terms of Uzbekistan, what do you expect from this country? Are you expecting to have more of a startups or more of a corporate clients that will be engaging with you?
Ideally both. Both, Nadia. Let me tell you. So we are set up as sort of, as I said, the matchmaker in the middle.
Yeah.
And we want to build the ecosystem ecosystem around it. So it will go beyond the collaboration between the corporates and the startups. We will also collaborate with the government. So we've been, very fortunate to that the Ministry of IT and Communication invited us to open up here in Uzbekistan back in February, actually. So we're moving very fast. Thank you so much. Thank you. We've established a team here. We've opened the entity. We've opened the office, and we're moving into the new office in early December. So a lot is happening. So that's another focus area, the collaboration with the governments. We also want to build up or build on the existing ecosystem of young entrepreneurs. So here there's a lot of potential in terms of young talent here in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Very young populations, thriving population, very promising entrepreneurs, and we also want to support them. So that's also part of the ecosystem.
That's very exciting, to be honest, and especially now at the time when everything is developing at such a speed.
Yes.
And the ecosystem and startup ecosystem is developing. So that's a very, sometimes they're lacking the navigation part or the mechanism in order to kind of immerse both sides. So are you currently planning to pilot any of the projects with a specific, let's say government or, any other specific industry?
Yes, absolutely. So I mean, we've started now. We only just launched the platform. So we have 3 founding partners on our platform, which is the Ministry of IT and Communication, as I mentioned. We're working with the IT Park. And we're working with Aloka Ventures. Yeah. So for the first...
Although we're very well known.
Exactly. We're very fortunate to have a strong founding team, which we're very proud of, and we want to build on that founding team to establish, a lot of growth also on the platform. But in terms of the first cycle of the program, we will focus on 4 different verticals, which is Fintech, InsurTech, Agrotech, and Enterprise Tech.
All the right domains at this moment.
Exactly. We had a lot of conversations with a lot of different parties here in Uzbekistan, and they tell us that are the right focus areas to start with. But as I said, we want to grow and we want to build on those 4 verticals or industries, and we want to add a lot more in the coming months and years of the program. So we will, try to attract a lot more companies on the corporate side in that space, in that fintech, insurtech space. We're always open for collaboration, so always
watch out, people.
Exactly. Yes, but there's
also a lot of fintechs and insurtech watching us now.
Exactly. Yes, please reach out and learn more about Plug and Play. We would love to collaborate.
Absolutely. So for those who doesn't know what a corporate innovation is, right? So just sum it up in few words.
That's tricky.
And what does it do for the economy itself? How does it actually develop the requirements from the corporate clients, like in very rapidly? Let's put it that way.
So let me give you one example. So we're working with a lot of big established corporations. Like for example, in our mobility program in Stuttgart, we're working with huge companies such as Mercedes-Benz with like 300,000 people. Yeah. We're working with Bosch. We're working with Porsche. We're working with all the big companies, leaders. Basically, the market leaders in their segment. So these companies have very established processes and very established teams globally, and of course also leading products that they're providing or services. So for us, it's really supporting those companies and providing an opportunity for them to collaborate with external technology. Because oftentimes they are the experts, but sometimes they're too close to the product even. So if you're talking about someone, a business unit expert, he has been working on that very specific product or technology for maybe 15, 20 years already. He's what we consider too close to the product already. So maybe he, and we sort of want to open up his vision and the perspective. A little bit of a fresh air. Exactly, a fresh air to also have a breath of what is out there in the world. Right. So we're not, we want to work together with them. We don't want to present them a startup and be like, here, this is team XYZ, they're doing it better than you. Yeah. That's not what we want to do. We want to work together. So we always work very closely with the business units. We want to understand their use cases. We want to understand their problem statements. And then we will scout very specifically on this problem statement. We will go out and find teams or startups that could potentially match and could help them.
Right. Yeah? That's a lot of preparation work, to be honest.
Yes.
But how long does it normally take? The standard, let's say, not a very too complicated issue or the problem that the corporate clients gives you, but like a standard process. How long does it take from the beginning till the end to find the solution?
So it varies, to be honest. It varies, first of all, on the industry, which industry we're talking about. Fintech, Insurtech, usually moving a lot faster. If you go into heavy production and, maintenance companies, it usually takes a lot longer. It depends on the market that we're in, and it depends on the size of the corporation. So we are very much dependent on, we, as Plug and Play, we have about 600 employees. We still consider ourselves as fairly small. So, we still see ourselves a bit as a startup, to be honest, like somewhere between a startup and a corporation. So we can move fast. And, we have global experts, as I said, across 47 locations. We think we have a lot of expertise in any given industry or a segment of those 19 industries, I would say. But it very much depends on the processes of the partner that we're working with, of the size, of the reporting levels, etc. But in general, I think we have a individual format called a deal flow, where we together launch a challenge. So we go into a problem, and then we try to define a use case out of it. We scout. We usually have 2 or 3 rounds of scouting, and then in the end we have a final list of up to 10 startups that we present to the company, and they are the startups that they will meet and ideally collaborate with 1 or 2 out of them.
Got it.
So that process, usually it can take anywhere from up to from 4 weeks to up to 2 months, I would say.
And the good thing is, if the client really knows what they're looking for as well.
Exactly. That also. So if we're working with a business unit that has a very specific idea of their limitation internally, I call it very carefully. Of a solution that they're looking for, then of course it's a lot quicker. Then we can go out. We have a global database in place, so we've been in touch with about 55,000 startups that are part of our database. But of course we also have, on top of that, our global ventures team of around 250 people, and they are really the experts in the technology. So around the clock they are sourcing for companies, they're scouting companies. So they have a very good overview.
I have a last question for you, Felix. So does it potentially solve the issue of lacking capacity building here in Uzbekistan? Potentially.
I don't want to go too far. I don't want to make too many promises, because we're only just getting started. But yes, of course, that's also something that we want to support. And, together with the government, we will also try to tap into that. And we also, we want to support the the local companies, and we want to provide landing pads across international locations, so we can also get some learning out of it that they then hopefully take back to the market or to the location here in Uzbekistan, and to help them develop.
Excellent, very good. Thank you very much, Felix, for being with us today. And for those who have been listening to such exciting time and Plug and Plays here, so feel free to apply and feel free to connect with Felix online. Please. And on LinkedIn, right? So the floor is yours. Thank you very much for being with us, and have a lovely rest of the week at ICT Forum.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.